Here's the starting lineup for the visiting Titans of Arcadia. Leading off and playing center field, number 13, Caleb Tucker. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 11.
It's a Tuesday and a beautiful day for baseball here at the home of the Saguaro SaberCats in Scottsdale, Arizona. How's it going, everybody? This is the Varsity Sports Show's presentation of Saguaro baseball taking on the Arcadia Titans. Kobe Bronstein and Tyler Hautella with you guys, giving you the coverage of today's game. Tyler, this is the second game of a two-game set between both the SaberCats and the Titans. SaberCats 14-3 overall record after starting out 1-2. They're hot, 13-1 since, including a victory over Arcadia.
Yeah, so Arcadia just came back, or Arcadia just lost recently a couple of games ago, 10-2 to this Saguaro team. We got a chance to talk to Joe Mickey here for the Saguaro head coach. Great things about the team, and just overall looking forward to how the season's going to go with both season and possibly playoff chance. And of course, being ranked, it's always a good thing having such good players to be nationally or state ranked like that.
State, nationally ranked, including a MLB draft prospect in Cam Caminetti batting second in today's lineup, serving as just the DH, to where, again, MLB draft prospect, projected first-round selection for 2024. That's also committed to Louisiana State University. He's going to be the headliner and a tone setter in this lineup today for the SaberCats. Joe Mickey, the head coach, as Tyler mentioned, has this squad rolling. 14-3 overall record, as I mentioned, including 13-1 since their last loss on March 14th. 3-0 officially in the 4A Desert Sky Division. Good for first place. Another team in the 4A Desert Sky Division. Their opponents today in the Arcadia Titans. Arcadia second place with a 2-1 overall record in the 4A Desert Sky, competing against teams like Mesquite out of Gilbert, Seton Catholic out of Chandler, who Saguaro has 2 victories over recently before their last one against Arcadia, as well as Marcos Deniza out of Tempe and St. Mary's out of Phoenix. Tyler, as you mentioned, you caught up with head coach Joe Mickey before the game. Let's roll the interview.
This is Tyler Hautella from Varsity Sports Show. I'm here with Coach Joe Mickey for the Saguaro head coach. Coach, you guys are currently ranked 4th in the state for baseball. Just tell me how it feels being the 5th in the state, as well as what you prepare going forward in the season.
It feels great. Hard work, preparation. These guys are reaping the benefits of that. We try not to get too caught up in it. Game to game, you're just trying to be 1-0 that day. So we try to stay humble in our approach, but it also feels good to be recognized among some of the big dogs in the state, and it's a lot of good baseball here, and we like to be a part of it.
So you guys are currently 14-3 in the season and on a 5-game win streak right now. Just tell me, what are you looking forward as you continue this in-region play, and what things you look forward getting closer to playoffs?
We just talk about playing smart, clean baseball, one pitch at a time. We got 3 weeks left of season. We try to hyper-focus on just one pitch at a time. If you can lead our pitching staff, it's been unbelievable. Caminetti, Schumard's going today, Billy Gregory, these guys have been leading us. Chris Margarella and Jackson Potter. These guys have just been doing a great job on the mound, and offensively I could go down the whole lineup for how guys are just taking good approaches. So one pitch at a time, not looking ahead, not trying to be anywhere but where your feet are, and that's what we're going to try to do today.
Coach, that's all the questions I have. Best of luck today, and good luck with the season.
Thank you so much.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos Deniza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
For playing shortstop, number 15, Xander.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show's presentation of Saguaro SaberCats baseball, taking on the Arcadia Titans. Right now, as you see on your screen, or rather just slightly off your screen, both teams going through the introductions of both teams, a national anthem to follow. Kobe Bronstein and Tyler Hautella with you for today's coverage. Again, the Saguaro SaberCats, can't say it enough, 14-3 overall record. Matt Sugarman, the head coach of the Arcadia Titans, has his team at 9-6-1, their overall record coming into today's matchup. The main thing, Tyler, we already mentioned, it was a part of your pregame interview with head coach Joe Mickey, is the fact that the last time out, Saguaro won 10-2 on the road, this time at home, and it's also the team is wearing some themed jerseys in terms of recognizing Autism Awareness Day today. How about that?
Yeah, I was just talking to you with a break about how much I love when teams go out of the ordinary and do stuff like this, whether it be dedicating their jerseys to different events. I was talking to you recently about how a couple years ago, Perry High School did something like that for their breast cancer awareness and stuff like that. So it's always awesome to see them honor something like this.
Yeah, all different colors and puzzle pieces, as well as the symbol for autism awareness that says autism awareness on it. So all that separates us now between the game is the national anthem. So we'll head to a quick break, and after, first pitch to follow.
Hi, I'm Melissa Firestone. I'm currently a junior studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, and I'm super thrilled to be a part of the Varsity Sports Show this spring, helping to cover sports all around the Valley. See you this season.
Hey folks, J.R. Lambright here, special field correspondent for the Varsity Sports Show. Join me every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific for JR's Texas Tales, where I share stories of Texans who triumphed over adversity and gave back to their local communities. Tune in for a bit of gritty edification on KDUS AM 1060, Arizona.
Hi everyone, my name is Jason Goldie. I'm so excited to be returning to the Varsity Sports Show this semester. As you might know, I have ASD and I love facts, stats, and info. I learned so much last semester and can't wait to dig in and share my enthusiasm for all things sports with all of you. Go Varsity!
First pitch about to get underway. And starting on the mound for the home side Saguaro SaberCats, Cade Schumard, the New Mexico State commit, having himself an impeccable season, not just batting to where he has a .459 average, but also pitching on the mound an average, or rather ERA, of just 2.15, 3-0 overall record, 3 wins to no losses. This will be his 5th appearance on the season for the SaberCats. He's going to be up against the Arcadia Titans, a team that Saguaro just beat by a score of 10-2 on March 28th. And the lineup goes as follows. Leading off, Caleb Tucker, the center fielder. Batting second, Jack Brasky, the shortstop. Batting third, Cruz Roberts, the catcher. In the cleanup spot, the DH, Garen Dreyer. Batting fifth, Hagen Lambert playing first. 6, 7, 8, and 9, 6 and 7, 2 brothers, Shay Sagee as well as Brock Shagee. Batting eighth, Carter Braden, and cleaning up in the lineup, number 9, Hayden Scoville. Take a look a little bit also at the infield and outfield behind Cade Schumard for the SaberCats. At first base, it's Schmidt. At second, Hernandez. Shortstop, Xander Bratspis also leading off for the SaberCats. At third, Billy Gregory. Left to right in the outfield, Chris Margarella, Jackson Potter, and Chasen Neiman.
And like something that's really stood out to me is how you're saying how the pitcher is 3-0 in the season so far. And like you look at baseball players nowadays, that's such an impressive feat to accomplish, to go undefeated in your starting pitching debuts and stuff like that. But not only that, but you were also saying just how great of a pitching team this Saguaro team is. And it's always just impressive to hear just all the scouting, all the training going into stuff like this. And you mentioned before the game that we have pitchers that are already getting scouts for the MLB going into their pros and stuff like that.
As people say in a lot of sports, defense wins championships. Pitching wins championships in the sport of baseball. Cade Schumard ready to go with the first pitch underway in a couple seconds. Caleb Tucker first to step up to the plate against New Mexico State commit. First pitch, swing and a miss. Right down Broadway as he gets Tucker to chase early.
Yeah, that's something always impressive, is you always want to start off with a strong pitch like that just to get something going, and as the ball flies out of bounds. But, you always want to have that strong implication that you're going to strike them out no matter what the cost is, especially with pitches like this.
0-2 from Schumard. Backdoor curveball just missing downstairs and away. Count moves to 1-2. Jack Brasky, the shortstop, on deck for the Titans. Cruz Roberts, the catcher, to follow. The pitch from Schumard, swing and a miss, downstairs, and he got him.
Yeah, and you could even argue that his last pitch that was called a ball, like that was very close to even being a strike zone as well. Unfortunately, you always get those pitches that are always like that, where it's just barely outside of the zone, or maybe the ump might miss it a couple then. But it's always just impressive seeing how he pitches like that.
Yes.
Schumard's off-speed filth on display early through one batter, and that brings up Jack Brasky.
Man,
Another swing and a miss. That looked like a changeup there.
yeah, he's getting a lot of these batters to swing at these balls, and it's just impressive how the ball breaks at the right moment.
Brasky lays off that pitch, leveling the count at 1-1. Arcadia 9-6-1 overall record. Don't see a lot of ties, but they do have a number in that third column. That pitch missing high and away. Ball 2.
Yeah, that's something that stood out to me. I wonder if one of those games just got rained out while it was a score game or something like that. As you guys know from the Arizona, we've been getting a lot of rain recently in this part of the valley as well. And it's a pop-up and just going to go outside of the stadium.
Up actually into the nearby softball stadium on the right. That levels the count at 2-2. The pitch from Schumard.
Oh,
Right down the
got
middle,
him.
he got him. First one swinging, that time looking. He fools Brasky, and there's 2 away.
And right now he's looking like he's going to be pitching a no-hitter. Struck out the first 2 batters in the first two pitches of, or I'm sorry, struck out the first 2 batters of the game for Arcadia. That's an impressive feat to accomplish in high school.
Here's Cruz Roberts, the catcher for Arcadia. Lays off that pitch, in and out of the glove of Gomez behind the plate, but a strike nonetheless.
You just have to think, like, with how he's pitching right now, you just have to think, how fast is he pitching for some of these pitches for them to swing this quick in the game?
A one delivery
just
outside. Roberts doesn't chase. Don't exactly have the velo on this Cade Schumard fastball, but sizzling. Had to assume probably high 80s to low 90s from the New Mexico State commit.
New Mexico's got themselves a pretty good pitcher coming into the season with them next year.
Yes, they do. 1-2, off speed. Downstairs and inside to put the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both the infield and outfield behind Schumard playing at normal depth. The even offering. He got him again.
Wow. What an impressive start for the Saguaro team.
Cade Schumard strikes out the side, strutting his stuff as he heads to the Saguaro SaberCats dugout. 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the first after this.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello, my name is Nash Dara. I am from Madison, Wisconsin, and I am studying sports journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University. I am very excited to announce that for this upcoming semester for the spring of 2024, I will be interning at the Varsity Sports Show. I am very excited for the new outlook to come and excited to make some new friends.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
Danny Harris on the mound for the Arcadia Titans. He's going to be facing a lineup that goes as follows for the SaberCats. Leading off, number 15, the shortstop, Xander Bratspis. Cam Caminetti to follow, batting second, the designated hitter. Batting third, the pitcher who just struck out the side. He's going to be batting as well in this inning in Cade Schumard. The cleanup spot, Billy Gregory playing third. Batting fifth, Cam Schmidt playing first base. Batting sixth, the catcher in Alain Gomez. 7, 8, and 9, Chris Margarella. Jackson Potter playing center field. And Santiago Hernandez playing second.
And you have to think, coming to the bottom of the first inning, you have to think Arcadia has to come out strong like Saguaro did with this defensive scheme as well. You don't want Saguaro to keep keeping a pace and keep scoring as the game goes on. So you really want to make a strong statement if you're Arcadia here and strike out all the batters, or potentially just stop as many runs as you can, starting with this bottom of the first.
Got to go back to Cade Schumard from the top of the first. Struck out all three batters, the first and the third swinging, and sandwiched in between the second batter. He got looking. First pitch from Harris, a strike on the outside corner.
And it looks like Arcadia is starting off with a good, strong pitching play as well, going strike right down the middle, first pitch of the game. Let's see if they can keep this up as it gets an 0-2 count for Arcadia going down with the first batter.
Ratspis got a piece of it to the backstop, puts the count at 0-2 early. The LSU commit Cam Caminetti on deck, followed by Cade Schumard.
Oh, and just outside.
Good off speed, trying to catch the inner corner to the right-handed batter, just off the mark. The 1-2.
Got another piece of that one.
Ratspis staying alive.
He's just keeping his at-bat appearance right now, just on the smooth right now, 1-2, on the verge of striking out, but it looks like he's connecting with the ball 2 out of the last 3 pitches, 3 out of the last 4 pitches, and he's definitely making contact, so you just have to think eventually he's going to get a piece and it's going to go flying out into the outfield.
Ratspis says, let's do it at 1-2 for a third time. Harrison to wind up the pitch. Little dribbler over to the shortstop, charging hard. The throw is in time. That's a great play made right there by Jack Brasky, the shortstop for Arcadia. Good defense behind Harris, and that's for out number 1.
And he did a good job on the run, throwing the ball right directly to first base, getting that aim just perfectly to get him out on the first out of the game for Arcadia.
Ground balls like that.
Especially with those ground balls that just bounce on the door. It's always such a hard thing to grab those grounders as that rolls right to you like that.
That's dunked in for a base hit into center field by Caminetti. He liked the first pitch he saw, and he ups his average to over 530 on the season. You heard that right, folks.
And that's such an impressive feat for just any time in baseball to have a batting average of over 500, especially when you have pitchers as good as the last pitchers we've seen in the last couple of games, and even like beginning of this inning. It's always hard to get that kind of a good average as the pitcher tries to get a pick off at first base.
Okay, zoom out.
Caminetti gets back to first safely. Here's the pitcher, Cade Schumard. Harrison the stretch as they fire back down to first. Caminetti gets back there in time. Late call from the first base umpire who's in between first and second.
And that was a very close call for this Arcadia team to get him out at first base.
So Caminetti being aggressive, but perhaps more aggressive is Arcadia defensively looking at Caminetti, the base runner, 2 different times. Harris misfires, bumps the count to 2-0.
You have to think with that kind of play at first base, does this get into the pitcher's mind where he's just starting to kind of, throw outside a little bit, just hesitancy, just to throw quick, just to maybe strike him out and then get a pitch out to second or first base to pick off the runner?
Harris right down the middle at the knees.
Everyone's on alert with the first base runner potentially stealing second, and we've seen how quickly he is getting to first and second just already in this first inning.
Decides not to go. Another strike inside corner at the knees, back to back from Harris. Puts the count now at 2-2. Third baseman Billy Gregory on deck. First baseman and Cam Schmidt after him. Caminetti a big lead at first. The pitch. Schumard lays off as it falls downstairs and away, and we're going to get a full count.
It's always a dangerous thing to get the full count as a batter because you're already thinking you want to strike, hit the ball as a strike on whatever case you can, like that, for example, as it goes out of the arena or out of the stadium behind the bleachers.
Yep, Schumard able to stay alive on that late swing on the pitch from Harris. We'll get another payoff here to ensue. 0-0 ball game, 1 out after the Xander Bratz ground out to short. Another foul ball, first baseline over the Arcadia dugout and out of play.
Yeah, these full counts are very dangerous for both the pitcher and the batter because one bad throw and you got a scoring run on second base with 2 runners on base when there's only 1 out. But for the batter, it's also just as impressive. Oh, as we got our first walk of the game.
Yeah, it's a good eye from Cade Schumart. He stands on first. Caminetti heads over to second base. So first and second, 1 out. And that sets up an opportunity for Billy Gregory to potentially break open the score here.
Yeah, especially in a scenario like this where you have 1 out and a score and runners on first and second. Any pitch or any hit going into the outfield is going to be a scoring run for this SaberCats team. So if you're the pitcher right now, you want to strike them out or hit them with a pop fly up in the air.
Third baseman Billy Gregory in the box. Harris still working in the stretch. Right down the middle for strike 1. Mentioned it already once or twice on the broadcast, but both of these teams squared off last Thursday, March 28th at Arcadia in Phoenix. Saguaro came out on top 10-2. That ball's hit over to short. Brasky on to second. Can they turn it? Yes, they can. A double play. 6-4-3. That sends Saguaro back to the dugout. 0-0 after 1 inning of play. We head to the top of the second after a break. Don't go anywhere.
Exciting news, sports fans. Get ready to welcome a fresh face to Varsity Sports Show. That's right. I'm Sam Dayton, and I'm thrilled to announce I'll be joining the Varsity Sports Show team as an intern this spring. Get used to this voice and get used to this face, because I am here to stay.
Hi, my name is Eric Perry, and I'm the proud owner of Eco Roofing Solutions. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, and I'm the current president of the Arizona Roofing Contractors Association. Our mission is to provide the absolute best customer experience, and we operate all over the entire state of Arizona. We will come out and provide a courtesy, no-obligation roof inspection to you, as well as an estimate within 24 hours. Our team is dedicated to providing the best quality product and workmanship, and we're here to serve you. You can call us at 480-695-7736 or check us out online at ecoroofaz.com. To learn more about us, you can find me on Instagram at YourBeardedRoofer or at Eco Roofing Solutions AZ. We are proud supporters of our community's youth and the next generation, and we would love for you to come and join the hashtag Eco Family today.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you.
Top of the second here at the home of the Saguaro SaberCats. 0-0 so far after 1 frame of work. Schumard missing high and away to move the count at 1-0 to Garen Dreyer in the cleanup spot.
And we enter the second inning with no runs scored on either team, and that's an impressive feat for this Arcadia team, especially with how good the Saguaro team has been the last couple of games.
No doubt, Tyler, that pitch just missing inside and low. Schumard reached on a walk as a hitter in the bottom of the first, and in the top of the first, he mowed down the first 3 Arcadia batters as he guts another foul ball into the glove of Alain Godino Gomez.
And we got an early 2-1 count for the batter right now for Arcadia. Let's see if we can get a runner on base this inning. Arcadia's first.
Yeah, Arcadia led by head coach Matt Sugarman, 9-6-1 overall record, 71 total runs scored to 63 allowed.
And that's an impressive feat right there to have. As we get our second full count of the game for Saguaro.
Dreyer fans and misses, sizzling fastball, catching the inner black for Schumard. The payoff. Foul ball that dunks up and over into the softball stadium right behind the baseball field here.
And what is that, like our fourth or fifth ball that's gone to the softball field already? Had a lot of foul balls jump over to the softball field just directly behind where we're sitting at now. And
Goes to the off speed, and that's 4 straight strikeouts to open the game for Schumard.
And that's an impressive feat on itself, especially in high school. You know, you always want to keep control of your pitches like that. And he's doing a fantastic job just being able to control his pitches like he is right now, going 4-0 for strikeouts.
And there's extra pressure with a full count, considering one ball that misses the mark could potentially send a runner down to first base. And if you're thinking about how well you're doing after an inning of success, striking out all 3 batters, it can certainly get to your head. And he gets back ahead here after the foul ball goes up and over the netting behind home plate. Hagen Lambert in the box, the first baseman, batting 5th for Arcadia. Another swing and a miss. Off speed goes Schumard again.
And you have to think we're at the top of the second. We've had 4 strikeouts. Could we potentially see a no hitter of this game?
Another breaking ball for strike 3. That's 5 strikeouts through 5 batters early here for Cade Schumard, who continues to roll on the bump for Saguaro.
And you have to think, like I was going back to what I was just saying with the no hitters. He's had a fantastic pitching game so far, even just at the top of this inning, as he gets another strike to start off his impressive game so far.
And he's wasting no time, constantly getting in his lineup, getting the signs from Gadino Gomez. Right back to Schumard. That's going to end it real fast in the top of the second. And before we head to break, we're going to go to the coach's mic to see what Coach Joe Mickey has to say for Saguaro.
Let's go, Hunt. Middle. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, spin the middle right here. Spin the middle. Hey, middle. Let's go. Spin the middle. Let's go, boys. Hey, good middle approach right here. That baby. Let's go. Spin the middle. Let's go next gear. Hey, let's go another dial. What a beautiful day for a beautiful day. Let's go, baby. Get some. Middle, boys. Middle.
Back here on the Varsity Sports Show, you just heard head coach Joe Mickey. A beautiful day to have a beautiful day, Tyler. How about that? And certainly a beautiful performance through 2 innings so far for Cade Schumard.
Yeah, and it's, again, like you said, great day. I mean, it rained yesterday, and we have nice breezy weather. A little bit hot, but again, it's Arizona spring, summer. It's always going to be that type of heat, but nice, beautiful day for baseball.
And Tyler, when we were talking to head coach Sugarman and coach Joe Mickey for Saguaro before the game, when we were walking around the outskirts of the field, we noticed some flooding that was starting to build up, but then we proceeded to mention how beautiful the field itself looked, and it doesn't look like there's any damage necessarily anywhere.
Yeah, Saguaro did a good job making sure their field stays clean for this baseball game today, especially with the amount of rain that we got yesterday. I mean, we had a game postponed in Buckeye for one of our games.
Kobe Bronstein and Tyler Hatella with you on the Varsity Sports Show. Here's Cam Schmidt, the first baseman for Saguaro. Gets down to the count 0-1 after a foul ball. Delivery from Harris just outside and what looked like a changeup.
And you have to think, after the last game, Arcadia and Saguaro have had it with each other, where Saguaro went out with the 10-2 win. Let's see, can center field get it? Nope,
Center fielder can't make it. Drops right in front of Tucker. Schmidt's going to stop at second, and that's the second hit for Saguaro. Looking to put their first run on the board here.
And going back to what I was saying before we had our single, you know, if you look at last game where Saguaro won 10-2 against Arcadia, Arcadia has done a really good job so far keeping themselves in the game against this Saguaro team. Going into the bottom of the second where we have no runners scored, and still a 0-0 game, but we could possibly see a change just here at the bottom of the second. We got another fly ball going out into the parking lot, almost hitting a car as in the process.
That was a big hack from Gadino Gomez, the catcher, who falls behind in the count 0-1. Schmidt at first after a single into left center field. Harris in the stretch, the pitch. Inside and a fastball, Gadino Gomez skirts out of the way.
But yeah, you have to think all these people here to watch the game and all these foul balls going out of the stadium. You have to think, is one of these cars going to end up getting hit as well, all these foul balls go flying out into the parking lot?
The tennis court's got to watch out, too. There's a lot of players on the courts here behind the baseball field on the left. Pitch from Harris. Just downstairs and low at the knees.
And the catcher framed that perfectly to make it look like he got the strike, but umpire was on the call for that one.
Schmidt on first, Arcadia playing at normal depth in both the infield and outfield. That ball's popped up. Is it going to stay in play within the confines of the stadium? Yes, diving play made by Segui, Brock Segui, that is, at third place, right in front of the Saguaro dugout. 1 out.
I mean, that pop fly got pretty close to getting to us, too. Just a little bit inside of the stadium, but just a couple more inches, and it probably would have come to where we're sitting at right now in the booth.
So 2 siblings on this Arcadia team. At third base, Brock Segui with the catch. And in left field, his brother, Shai. Dribbler over to the pitcher who misplays it. It's Harris. Gets it on to first for the second out of the inning. Schmidt slides into second safely. No throw there.
We're back in a scenario where, like we were at the bottom of the first inning, where we have a scoring run on second base right now. But unlike last inning, we have 2 outs going into the bottom of that second right now too. So we could potentially see 2 innings without a run for either team going into the third inning.
Yeah, Harris did a good job there of getting weak contact. Swing and a miss in the center fielder, batting 8th for Saguaro, Jackson Potter. And grounding out to the pitcher was Margarella before him. Schmidt, big lead at second base. That ball missing low and away. Santiago Hernandez, the second baseman, batting 9th on deck. Xander Bratspis, who's the leadoff batter for Saguaro, is in the hole. 0-0 score here through 1 2/3 of this game.
Oh, man,
the pitch from Harris. Back over to the pitcher again. Harris stabs it onto first for the final out of the inning. Arcadia, just what the doctor ordered. They get out of 2 innings clean. 0-0 score here. Don't go anywhere. We'll have the top of the third after this.
Hey everyone, I'm Seth Quaritch, a senior studying journalism and media studies at the Hank Greenspun School of Journalism for the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I'm excited to be covering all sports in the Las Vegas Valley for the Varsity Media Foundation.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Hi everybody, my name is Alexandra Medina and I am a junior sports journalism student at Arizona State University. My passion for sports began when I started watching ESPN at just the age of 6 years old. I am so excited to be a part of the Varsity Sports Show and to work with you all during my spring semester.
Back here in the top of the third, Saguaro in both the first and second innings threatening for a run, but it's deadlocked right now at 0-0 here in the top of the third. Cade Schumard back on the mound. We saw 6 batters come up for Arcadia, Tyler. 5 of them strikeout victims of Schumard.
Yeah, and that's just an impressive feat, especially in the high school level, to have 5 strikeouts in your first 6 batters and also keep a no-hitter going on right now.
Here's Brock Segui, made a sliding catch at third base, but fans and misses on the first pitch. Good breaking ball that time by Schumard.
And he's keeping a good streak right now of just throwing these strikes right down the middle and getting the batters a swing on these breaking balls as well.
Segui now down 0-2. 8th batter in the lineup for the Titans up next, and Carter Braden, the right fielder, and the second baseman Hayden Scovell to follow. Here's the 0-2 from Schumard, just missing away for ball 1. We've seen a couple base runners for Saguaro, and both the first and the second stranded on the base pass. Schmidt, first baseman, was stranded as another strikeout from Schumard. Goes back to the breaking ball, and that's been the patented pitch all day.
Yes, it has. And right now, top of the third, we have yet to see an Arcadia Bear even make it to first base, whether it be on a walk or even a hit. And that's just impressive defensive play by this Saguaro team.
Here's Braden in the box. Takes strike one after swinging.
Like you mentioned, this pitcher is going to New Mexico next year, and they've gotten themselves a pretty good pitcher. As they get a pitch, and it's just going to go into the outfield, getting Arcadia's first runner of the game.
Bratz Piss not able to make the play at shortstop. As Tyler mentioned, that's the first hit and base runner for Arcadia.
Second baseman number 1, Hayden Scoville.
Unfortunately, he won't be going out this game with a no-hitter, but still an impressive feat to go. 6 for 7 on strikeouts of the first seven batters for Arcadia.
Now he's at the bottom of the lineup in Hayden Scoville.
Still good, guys.
Working in the stretch. That gets away from Gadino Gomez.
He steals second base, and Arcadia's got their first scoring run of the game with 1 out going to the top of the third.
Yeah. It's Carter Braden in scoring position after the wild pitch from Schumard. Enfield in on the corners. At first, Schmidt. At third, Gregory. Pitch almost gets away again. Gadino Gomez able to prevent just that. Back to the top of the lineup in the center fielder, Caleb Tucker. After this, as Scoville swings and misses again.
You have to think after that first hit, is Schumar, a little bit caught up with the hit and just trying to get himself back into this pitching game again with the foul ball going just a little bit outside of the stadium to the right field.
Yep.
But, after a hit like that, after striking out so many batters, you think it catches you off guard a little bit, and now you're trying to get yourself prepped back up for a game where you're just striking out people like this again.
2-2 from Schumard off of Gadino Gomez, who winces a little bit in pain. Umpires giving Gadino Gomez all the time he could take after the foul ball as he hands Schumard the ball, and what will be another even offering at 2-2. Scoville in his 13th game of the year, just hitting 115 so far. There's another pitch sails outside for Schumard.
We've got our third full count of the game. And if you're Saguaro right now, you want to strike this guy out or get an out in any way possible because you don't want 2 runners on base getting into the third inning like this.
Scoville on first after the walk. So first and second, 1 out. And that brings up the leadoff man, Caleb Tucker. And this was a part of the lineup, Tyler, for Schumard to where he went strikeout, 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 and strikeout again. It all started with Caleb Tucker to lead off the game, and he's heading towards the lineup once again. But as we know in the sport of baseball, sometimes the second or third time up in the lineup could be a better opportunity after already seeing the pitcher in Schumard, and Arcadia will look to do just that here and take advantage of 2 base runners with just 1 away.
And it looks like in the process they pulled Braden out for a pinch runner on first base currently right now.
Just missing outside in the first fastball pitch of the at-bat from Schumard. Schmidt on second after the base hit, past the shortstop. On first after the walk, Scoville. Infield still in on the corners. That pitch is caught at third base by Gregory. Can they get the double play? They can. What a play by Billy Gregory and Saguaro.
That was an impressive play.
We're going to head to a break. 0-0 still. Saguaro back up in the bottom of the third after this.
Patience process. Let's go. Hey, right here. Everybody up right here. Right here, real quick. Let's find a little bit right here. We're a little quiet. Doors right here in the water. Turn up a notch. Window. Just a little deeper. Scoreboard to flagpole. Let's go hunt right here, boys. Let's go. Hey, roll on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go. Let's get some, boys. It's our turn. Let's go. Win an inning. Win an inning right here.
Heard it right there from head coach Joe Mickey, giving his team a little bit of a chat after that astounding double play from Billy Gregory at third base to end the inning. And that was some trouble behind Cade Schumard after he let up his first hit of the game, followed by a walk, and Billy Gregory erased that immediately.
And that was just an impressive play by Segi with that catch and double play, because if that ball soars past them, Arcadia is up 1-0 with still 1 out in the game.
So a 5-4 double play to end the top half of the third and keep the game at 0-0.
Now we're getting into the part of the game where both these pitchers, their arm may be a little bit tired after the first couple innings, so we might be seeing a couple runs scored for this Saguaro team.
Here's the 9-hole hitter in Santiago Hernandez up for the first time against Harris. It's a pop-up in the infield. Shortstop in Brasky cuts off the second baseman to make the catch.
It looked like for a split second he might have lost the ball. I saw him stutter step a little bit and then finally find the ball again and run and catch the ball just a little bit past to second base.
So 1 pitch, 1 out for Saguaro here in the bottom of the third, but that brings up the leadoff guy, Xander Bratspis. 0 for 1, grounding out to the shortstop. Doesn't go on the first pitch, gets ahead 1-0.
Just a little bit up out of the box as we go into the second pitch of this bottom of the third.
Lays off another one, but it's called a strike to level the count at 1 ball and a strike. Bratspis, before the game, hitting .288 on the season. This is game 17 for him. Trying to tack on to 15 hits. Can he get one here?
Oh, wow.
Good stop at second base. Do they get the out? No, they do not. Bratspis ups his hit count. Great play by Scovell to keep the ball in front of him. Unable to get the out in the end.
Yeah, and like you said, that's an impressive play because if that ball goes just past into the right field, that might be a potential double play with a scoring run on second base. And with that run, I have to say, we've seen a lot of bases hit, but these defensive plays have been keeping their plays, keeping the runners only getting 1 base at a time with these hits.
Here's Caminetti, who takes strike 1. And I've been on the broadcast a couple times here at Saguaro. Each and every time I've been asked by Cam's dad to give a shout out to Cam Caminetti's grandparents tuning in on the Varsity Sports Show. Thanks for doing so as you watch your grandson compete today. As he fouls one off, he's down to the count 0-2.
Yeah, if there's anything that we've seen that you've told me before the game is that this guy can hit the ball no matter where the ball is placed, and he can hit them yard and he can hit them long and far.
And you know what? He can pitch too. We've seen that on display a lot this season.
Kind of reminds me of Shohei Ohtani for the Los Angeles Dodgers now, with how his pitching ability and hitting ability is now too.
Caminetti strikes out. Don't see that too often, but into the glove that time of Roberts. So there's 1 out here, rather 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Base runner on first is Bratspis. Here's the pitcher, Cade Schumard, already working on a fantastic performance on the mound for Saguaro, with 6 strikeouts so far, including the first 5 batters he saw. Harris misses downstairs and away for ball 1.
And you have the thing as a pitcher, you know what some of these throws coming towards you are coming and looking at, and that's one of the perks of being a batter right now with pitching wise talent as well. And you're in a position right now where you have the potential to score for your Saguaro team with 2 outs possibly, and getting the energy back on your team for the top of the 4th coming up.
Short lead at first from Bratspis. In there for a strike. So the count's 2-1, 2 outs. We saw an infield single from Bratspis on first. Hernandez popping out to the shortstop, Brasky, followed by a Cam Caminetti strikeout.
Now, and just soars behind home plate into the softball field for, I think, the 7th time now this game.
Yeah, a lot of the players got to go shag balls over there in the softball stadium following the game. No SaberCat softball today. 2-2. Runner goes. Dribbler over to third base, keeps it in front of him. They don't get the out at first base. In and out of the glove. Advancing to third is Bratspis. He's going to head for home. He's going to stop at third. Stopping at first is Schumard. It'll be interesting to see if it goes as an E3 because it looked like a good throw at third base from Brock Segui, but either way, runners on the corners with 2 away.
And now you're in a dangerous position if you're, Arcadia, where you have a run on first and third. Any wild pitch can potentially score the run of the game and potentially even the game winner for the game, especially with how defensive both these teams have been playing so far. So you're in a really strong position right now where you need a strikeout or a pop-up to end this inning.
That was a close pickoff at first base as the pinch runner who went in can't exactly identify the number of the player, but he came in for Schumard, who will go back out to pitch in the top of the fourth after the last out here. Another close opportunity, but no avail for Arcadia.
And you have to think, is this some strategic strategy that Saguaro is doing to get in the pitcher's head of possibly trying to get a quick out to end this inning? So he goes for a strikeout because in this scenario, you want to just end the inning as quickly as possible with a runner in third base as well and just get out of the inning clean going into the top of the fourth.
Harris delivers a strike. Not to the amusement of the fans here. They thought it was outside to the SaberCat and Gregory, who's down 0-2. Big leads at first and third for the SaberCats. That pitch downstairs, darting for second, and getting in there with a stolen base is the pinch runner that took over for Cade Schumard. And also you can see on your screen one error in the column for the Titans. It's going to go as an E3 to Lambert at first base after the ball popped in and out of his glove.
Just outside.
Gregory doesn't bite. And that evens the count at 2-2. First baseman Cam Schmidt on deck, already 1 for 1, followed by Alain Gomez. The even offering. Gregory doesn't bite once again as that off-speed dips outside.
Well, we've got our 4th full count of the game, potentially one of the biggest full counts of this game so far, as it could potentially put all runners on base from first, second, and third, giving Saguaro a huge lead if they score.
Gregory to third. Segui not able to make the backhanded stop. The runner scores. Advancing to third also is Saguaro. And that's most definitely going to be a hit for Gregory. That was going to be a tough play by Segui at third. Saguaro breaks open the deadlock, and it's 1-0 SaberCats.
Now the Saguaro players in the dugouts love the run and score. And Saguaro goes up 1-0 with 4 hits going into this game.
Ball's popped up out of play, third baseline. Over towards the tennis courts.
It looks like tennis practice is out now. So any ball that goes towards the tennis court is now safe. Now after that scoring run, you have to think the pitcher's probably a little bit tense after giving up that run and potentially trying to end that game. He's probably going to be throwing some wild pitches.
Over to second. Over to Lambert at first to end the inning, but Saguaro tacks on a run for the first time. They lead by a score of 1-0. Don't go anywhere as we head to a break on the Varsity Sports Show.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization. When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi, I'm Melissa Firestone. I'm currently a junior studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, and I'm super thrilled to be a part of the Varsity Sports Show this spring, helping to cover sports all around the Valley. See you this season.
Shortstop, number 11.
Arcadia back up to the plate in the top of the fourth, down in this game for the first time, 1-0 after a Billy Gregory infield single. Segui at third base, Brock Segui that is, the brother of Shea Segui, not able to make the backhanded stab.
And yeah, going down 1-0, especially with how defensive both teams have been playing so far, it's going to be hard for Arcadia to come back and tie the game.
Here's Jack Brasky, the second hitter in this lineup for the Titans, facing Cade Schumard already with 6 strikeouts. That pitch missing inside to bump the count at 2-0. Cruz Roberts, the catcher to follow. Garen Dreyer in the hole, Tyler.
We've got 3-0 count right now, and that's the first time I've seen him pitch all game without getting a strike on any one of these batters so far. Wow, that's the first time this game we've seen him not throw a strike on any of these batters yet.
Okay.
Going into the fourth, you got to think maybe his arm's a little bit tired after pitching 4 innings and giving, like you said, 6, 7 strikeouts going into this game right now, that maybe his arm's just getting a little bit tired, and maybe, just maybe, he's just been out pitching too long or whatever the case may be, but he's still keeping a good pitching distance with keeping these batters, within the first, second base range for this game for Saguaro to keep them up 1-0.
Cruz Roberts, the catcher, back in the batter's box for the second time. 0 for 1 with a strikeout as they check on Brasky at first after the unconventional 4-pitch walk from Schumard, who's been mowing down these Titans batters so far through 3 innings. The pitch from Schumard laid off by Roberts just outside, moving the count to 1-1. Garen Dreyer, the designated hitter on deck. Hagen Lambert in the hole. The pitch is cracked into left field, and it gets over the head of Margarella. Darting for third is Brasky. He's going to get in there, and with a double at second, that's Brasky.
And now if you're Saguaro, you're in a scary situation where you have 2 potential runners that can score on any sort of hit into the outfield. As we get a pinch hitter for second base coming in.
Yeah, screwed myself up a little bit. I apologize. It's Cruz Roberts on second base after the double, and it's Jack Brasky on third base advancing from first. First major hit of the game off the bat of the Arcadia Titans. The other one just barely snuck through the shortstop's glove. Rat's piss. So second and third, Arcadia down 1-0. Here's Garen Dreyer, the designated hitter, who takes strike 1.
Now you're in a scenario where even if it's a single play, you're only going to get 1 out because both those batters are going to stay at their given plates that they're at right now, as there's an 0-2 count right now. But you don't want that ball going any further than the infield, because any sort of outfield hit, especially if it's a fly ball to outfield, you're going to get the third base running in for the score, tying up the game 1-1.
Schumard gets ahead quickly, 0-2. Here's the pitch. That falls downstairs and away for ball 1. After the double over the left fielder Margarella's head, Roberts came out of the game for a pinch runner who stands at second with a brisk lead. At third, Brasky. That falls outside again. It looked like a changeup.
We got a 2-2 count going into this top of the fourth, and a really scary scenario for Saguaro right now, having 2 runners in second and third for potential tying and winning and leading run for this inning, as that ball goes all the way into the softball field for the 8th time this game. Thankfully, there's no softball players out there, because, man, they've been soaring all the way right to that softball field.
The even offering falls just outside on a breaking ball in and out of the glove of Gadino Gomez.
And we've got a scary full count for the Saguaro team here, potentially putting runners on all 3 bases for 0 outs, surprisingly. It's the first time we've seen that all game for Saguaro.
The payoff falls outside, so the bases are juiced, and there's no one out, and Saguaro needs to do something in order to at least crawl back to get one out, and they're going to do that first by tactically bringing in the infield. Or it looks like just on the corners. Hernandez and Bratz-Piss were headed towards the infield grass, but retreated towards normal depth. Here's Hagen Lambert at first for the Titans, who takes low and inside for ball one.
And we're at the point of the game where, we're not seeing as many strikeouts as we did in the first 3 innings.
Schumard able to level the count with a strike. Decent breaking ball. Gadino Gomez doesn't get the call after the frame job. Hagen Lambert, the first baseman, in a big spot, 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking in his only appearance. Schumard again downstairs for ball 3.
And we might see a runner just batted in off a walk with the 3-1 count right now. Arcadia is getting loud to distract the pitcher right now. Let's see what happens.
That ball's through for a base hit into left field. Scoring already, Brasky. Stopping at third is Arcadia again. This score's knotted up at 1-1. How about that?
Yeah, and it's just a crazy turn of events right now going into the top of the 4th. I mean, we just saw our first run of the game coming at the bottom of the 3rd. It's just getting to that point of the game where, we're halfway through the game. Things are changing quickly, and I'm potentially going to see some runs, especially for this Arcadia team. Still having no outs into the top of this 4th team right now.
Shea Segui swings at the first pitch. Solo out at second. Do they turn the double play? They do. But another run scores for Arcadia, so that's a 6-3 double play by Bratz-Piss at shortstop. But for the first time today, Saguaro is down in this game 2-1.
Baseman, number 15, Brock Segui.
Arcadia is talking to the ump right now. There's going to be some discussion on if the runner made the base right now for first base. They're saying he's still out.
Yep, that was perhaps the quickest meeting between two umpires who wanted to talk it over of all time. Took about less than 2 seconds to stay with the call on the field, especially as we don't have access to replay here, although everybody tuning in is able to rewind at any point, but not the umpires or anyone playing in the game. As Shea Segui's brother Brock takes outside for ball 1. Arcadia with the lone runner on third base. That ball is sent to second base, but caught by Hernandez. So Saguaro stops the bleeding, but they're down 2-1. Their bats need to certainly pick up and come back alive as they will bat in the bottom of the 4th.
Boys, way too quiet. Get out of the me zone. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. It's a we zone. Flush, flush. You're good. You're good. Hey, language. You're good. So what? Hey. Hey, so what? Hey, that's all right. Yeah, throw fastballs down the D. You're good. Trust your stuff. Trust our defense. Hey. You're only as good as what you can control. So you take the big deep breath and you go, just be you. Hey, it's not the cans, it's not the won'ts. It's the things that you can do. Hey, what can you do? Just shift. Okay, well, trust your stuff. Get ahead in the zone, and then let's see if they chase a little bit. Stay in that attack mode. Get strike 1. Hey. Let's go bang right here. We're good. We're going to get you. We're good. Hey, we're pounding, babe.
This is why we love the coaches, Mike Tyler. I mean, that's a raw conversation between a pitcher that just allowed his first runs of the game. His team is down. And while they've been 13-1 after going 1-2 to start this season, if you're the Saguaro SaberCats, just a great message and conversation from Joe Mickey, trying to keep his pitcher level-headed and get his team back into this game.
Yeah, you love, as a player, you love to hear his words like that as a coach because, sometimes just things happen out of your control like we just saw on the top of the 4th. And, just hearing that word of inspiration and potentially rallying your team behind you just to get a lead back into this game is such a big thing to hear, especially for a pitcher that's down currently in this game.
Harris delivers downstairs and away. Gadino Gomez in the box. Saguaro not used to being down especially later in the game as Gadino Gomez pops it up, heading towards foul territory, and it actually drops for a base hit into fair territory. Shallow left field, Segui at third, not able to make the catch, and Gadino Gomez and Saguaro able to catch a break.
Yeah, and that's a good start for Saguaro right now, going up with one base run, especially right now, and Arcadia getting their second error of the game. Right now we have one runner on base and no outs to start the bottom of the fourth inning right now, and let's see if Arcadia or if Saguaro can end up tying this game bottom of the fourth right now. As we get a strike to start off the second at bat for Saguaro right now.
And Saguaro wants speed on first base. They take out the catcher, Gadino Gomez. They bring in what looks like Ty Ibino at first, who retreats after the pickoff attempt from Harris. So Gadino Gomez able to get a bloop single that falls into shallow left field. Here's the left fielder, Margarello, who's down to the count 0-1. The pitch from Harris, they check on first base again. Bounces over towards Lambert, able to stab it with his glove.
Looks like we have 1 ball, 1 strike right now, currently with the third pitch of this inning right now. We have another pop-up, and it falls
in
fair.
for another bloop single, shallow right field. The force was on at second base, but sliding safely was Saguaro again. So it's now the SaberCats threatening after falling behind in this game 2-1 with runners on both first and second.
And Saguaro is doing a very good job right now responding to how the top of the fourth went, adding their own 2 runners on base at first and second with no outs in the game right now as well.
No doubt.
And, as you heard about Coach Mickey saying before the inning, and it's just an impressive thing to rally behind your pitcher. As we get a bunt that falls fair, just barely.
It actually falls just foul that time from Jackson Potter, the center fielder, batting 8th in the lineup for Saguaro. Tyler, as you mentioned, a great point that after falling behind the game, we saw a conversation from Schumard, or not saw, but rather heard the conversation from the pitcher, Cade Schumard, and head coach Joe Mickey, to where this team could be a little bit disgruntled, but it hasn't looked like that to open the inning as they check on the runner at second.
Yeah, you love it when your team rallies behind you, especially after having an inning like you just did with Saguaro. But right now you have 2 runners on base, potentially a third runner. Let's see what happens here.
Another bunt attempt. And he's safe at third. It's Ibino that gets in. Not what you want if you're Arcadia.
And now we have full bases loaded with Saguaro having no outs, kind of like what we started off with the fourth inning with Arcadia having full bases, no outs. So maybe we could see a change of pace with the game with Saguaro taking a big lead in this fourth inning. My mistake.
Infield in on the corners, and Lambert at first, Segui at third. Santiago Hernandez takes a strike. Almost a mirror image of exactly what we saw in the top of the third, also with no outs, to where now Saguaro gets the bases loaded. The ball goes up the middle at shortstop. The flip on to second for 1. And they can't get a second. So Hernandez able to get an RBI fielder's choice to level the score at 2-2.
Yeah, and just like what we saw earlier, 1 out, and we still have runners on first and third, so we can still see a game leading run for Saguaro here in this fourth inning. And, a lot of pressure, like I said, beginning of the fourth inning with their pitcher. You have 1 out right now. You don't want to be giving up more runs and potentially costing yourself the game right now. And it looks like they're going to have a mound visit with Arcadia right now. The whole team's going to be coming up.
It looked like head coach Sugarman for Arcadia was going to go out to talk to his players, but instead an infield visit from Lambert at first, Scovell at second, Brasky at shortstop, Brock Segui at third base, as well as Cruz Roberts, the catcher, talking with the pitcher, Danny Harris.
It looks like Coach Mickey's having his own meeting right now with all the batters and runners on Saguaro right now. As we go back for another at bat for Saguaro right now, tied 2-2 right now with the runners on first and third with 1 out in this fourth inning.
That's panning out to be a great game so far here on a Tuesday afternoon in Saguaro. Harris checks on first. Got to be careful with the runner on third. If he's able to anticipate the throw to first, potentially he has the opportunity to dart home. That's Margarella. Harris, first pitch inside and high for ball one.
I just have to say, Saguaro's been doing a really good job keeping this pitcher's head on the swivel. You know, you want to keep that surprise attack of potentially stealing a run or potentially stealing a base for second inning, and that was a questionable strike call, but it'll be a 1-2 count right now. And as I was going back to saying, you like keeping this pitcher, you know, umped and ready for potentially what could be a steal for the game.
The ball's driven into left field. It gets down for a base hit. One run scores. It's Margarella. Saguaro retakes the lead 3-2 off the bat of Xander Bratspis, his second hit of the day.
You know, we're up. Saguaro's up 3-2 right now. Runners on first and second, one out, and it looks like we will be seeing Arcadia have another mount visit.
Yeah, not surprised. Cam Caminetti coming up to the plate, the LSU commit.
And it looks like we might be seeing a pitcher change here in just a couple moments.
We're still on one.
Last time I was on the call here in Saguaro, they were able to get a mercy rule victory against Seton Catholic. And the first two times that Cam Caminetti came up to the plate, he was intentionally walked. The third time, with the bases loaded against Seton Catholic, the score was 3-0 at that point. They let Cam Caminetti swing the bat, and he did as much damage as you can do in a baseball field. A no-doubt grand slam into right field that put that game completely out of reach. And another opportunity here to break open the score as the SaberCats just retook the lead for the second time in the game.
It looks like they're going to keep the pitcher the same as they did before the mount visit, as they got a pitcher warming up just outside of Arcadia's dugout right now. So potentially we might be seeing a pitcher change into the next inning, or potentially if they give up another run here.
So Harris dueling with Caminetti for the third time in the game. Cam 1 for 2 with a single as well as a strikeout his last time up. That ball gets away all the way to the backstop.
We'll have runners from first and second steal second and third, potentially giving them another 2-run lead if the ball's hit far out into center, into the outfield.
Both runners advance on the wild pitch. Bratspis at second, and at third is Santiago Hernandez.
You know, this is a scary situation for Arcadia because any hit will just allow a run to score unless it's a direct hit to infield.
Caminetti puts it on the ground, but it gets through for a base hit again. 1 run scores. Bratspis heading home. It's a 2 RBI single for Cam Caminetti, and Saguaro has a 3-run lead.
You know, we might be seeing a potential pitcher change here in just a couple of seconds. And especially with a scenario like this, Saguaro now has all the momentum behind them for this game, going 5-2 right now, 8 hits for 3. And, you know, lovely situation for all the Saguaro fans here, seeing their team go up and still have a chance to take a big lead with just 1 out in this 4th inning as well.
There's a lot of fans behind home plate cheering on their feet as the SaberCats are now up by 3 runs after falling behind after the top of the 4th, 2-1 to the Titans. Here's the pitcher, Cade Schumard, again, already 6 strikeouts, allowed his first 2 runs of the game, but got to be feeling not just more confident in the batter's box, but when you go out to pitch as well, knowing that your team is going to be up by at least 3 runs, if not more.
Yeah, and that's something you want as a pitcher to have, is to have the momentum behind them, but you also want to have that confidence that, you know, you're still going to have that lead even if you go into the 5th inning, you give up a run or 2.
Billy Gregory, the third baseman on deck, also had an outstanding double play at third base where he turned it over to the second baseman, able to get 2 outs to end an inning, which I believe was the top of the 2nd.
Yep. And again, going back to that play, that was just an impressive play to keep the game scoreless until this inning where we've had a total of 7 runs scored.
Almost got the bat tossed towards the Saguaro dugout from Schumard, who's going to step up to the box one more time with the count full. 5-2 ball game here at Saguaro. Runner on first, Caminetti. And the pitch. Foul back to the backstop. So staying alive is Schumard.
And from our point of view from the booth, we can see Matt Sugarman, the head coach for Arcadia, standing next to their potential backup pitcher for the game, if he's intentionally walked again, and he is. So it looks like we'll be seeing a new pitcher coming in at the top of this next inning.
Schumard, jogs to first after a base on balls. Going to be replaced as well on the base pass. He's most definitely going to come out to pitch for the top of the fifth, working on 6 strikeouts. And again, as I mentioned, a 3-run cushion that could potentially increase here. Still only just 1 out, and we've seen 4 runs come across for Saguaro.
And it's always an impressive feat to see, especially with how the game's been going in this inning alone. You have a runner on second, potentially another scoring run if the ball is hit long and far, and you just love to see stuff like this happen. Again, it's baseball. Anything can happen, but in scenarios like this, you just love to see the confident builds for Saguaro as they take this huge lead and potentially build more off of it.
Cruz Roberts, the catcher, has a couple of words with Harris on the mound. No errors in this inning, 1 in the game, or rather 2 for Saguaro that you can see on your screen. 8 total hits for the SaberCats to just 3 for the Titans. Danny Harris on the mound, Billy Gregory in the box. The 1-0 from Harris. Upstairs and inside for ball 2.
And something we haven't seen yet is we haven't seen a home run from either side of these teams. You're talking before the game and how Saguaro is such a big hitter team. We haven't seen anything yet, which is just great defensive plays on both aspects of the team. But, currently Saguaro taking up a 3-run lead and potentially building off more. Arcadia has to get it together to somewhat keep the game close if they want to come out with a victory on top of this game.
Schumard drew a walk after a payoff. This one, potentially, or rather, Billy Gregory going to stay in the box, but the count moves to 3-1.
Another scary situation for Arcadia because one more ball can potentially load the bases up. Again, having only 1 out for this inning.
Gregory takes a hack, fouls it back towards the softball stadium.
For the 9th time this game.
Tyler's keeping track. Again, a lot of the players have to go shag balls with no Saguaro softball game being played. Payoff falls inside, so that's back-to-back walks. It loads the bases again.
And we're going to have a pitcher switch come in.
Most
just a couple
likely,
seconds.
yep. Here's Coach Sugarman coming out of the dugout for the Arcadia Titans. Cam Schmidt would be stepping into the box next. Are we going to get a pitching change? Yes. Danny Harris going to hand over the ball to Coach Sugarman. Harris with a stellar outing before this inning. Had some bumps in the road, but an overall solid performance from the Arcadia Titan, as we're going to bring in a new pitcher and head to a quick break also on the Varsity Sports Show.
Hey folks, J.R. Lambright here, special field correspondent for the Varsity Sports Show. Join me every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific for JR's Texas Tales, where I share stories of Texans who triumphed over adversity and gave back to their local communities. Tune in for a bit of gritty edification on KDUS AM 1060, Arizona.
Hi everyone, my name is Jason Goldie. I'm so excited to be returning to the Varsity Sports Show this semester. As you might know, I have ASD and I love facts, stats, and info. I learned so much last semester and can't wait to dig in and share my enthusiasm for all things sports with all of you. Go Varsity!
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
First pitching change of the day on either side. On the mound for Arcadia, Garrig Isle, who is in his 6th appearance of the season. Pretty stellar so far, 1.75 ERA, 2-1 overall record, including 1 save on the season so far.
Yeah, you have to think right now he's in a big position where you have bases loaded, 1 out in the bottom of the 4th, potentially giving up some more runs. So a lot of pressures on him entering this game.
First pitch swinging, fly ball into right center field. Coming on to make the catch, Tucker tagging Caminetti. The throw not in time towards home plate. So it's an RBI sac fly for Cam Schmidt. He does a job, and it increases the lead to 6-2 for the SaberCats.
And, it's an impressive play by the outfield to keep that lead to just 1 lead, because if that ball drops, it's a potential 2-run lead, 2-7 coming up. And, you still have runners scoring, and then it'll still be 1 out. So it's an impressive play by the outfielder to keep the game to only 4 runs.
Here's Alain Godino Gomez, the catcher behind the plate for Saguaro today. That's through for a base hit into right field. Another run touches home plate for Saguaro. They're building onto this lead, having an incredible bottom half of the 4th, and it's 7-2 for the home side. What a turnaround, Tyler.
Yeah, it definitely has been a turnaround, especially with his new hitter. Maybe he's a little bit scared to be pitching right now, especially being down 7-2 right now, and especially with right now his first 2 pitches of this game coming as hits for Saguaro, taking 2 more leads in this game.
Gomez with back-to-back hits. He was able to dunk in a bloop single into shallow left field his last time up. Margarella, a hack on the first pitch. It's another hit for Saguaro into right center field. He's hustling for second. He gets in there sliding. It's an RBI double for Chris Margarella. The floodgates have been opened, and it's 8-2.
And we're getting to the point where, last game it was a 10-2 victory for Saguaro. We're getting pretty close to that score again with it being 8-2 right now.
And we started off this inning, or right before the inning rather, with a conversation where we went to the coach's mic, Coach Mickey of Saguaro, talking with his pitcher and Cade Schumard, who had just allowed his first 2 runs, and it was 2-1 for Arcadia. It's now 8-2, Tyler, for the home side Saguaro SaberCats. How about that for an answer?
Yeah, especially with the motivation that Coach Mickey had for his team, wanting to do this for him, especially with giving up the extra run for Arcadia, giving them the lead 2-1. But now we've seen such a momentum shift for Saguaro, taking an 8-2 lead and just absolutely going crazy this last bottom of this inning and potentially giving them the game-winning runs this inning.
Pitch is popped up, heading towards foul territory. In and out of the glove of the shortstop, and it also falls into play. Touching home plate for Saguaro is Margarella, and it's 9-2.
I think it might be 10-2. I think we saw 2 runners come running in. Yeah, 10-2 right now.
Yes, you're correct, Tyler. Yes, both runners on the base pass were darting for home with 2 outs. And you're absolutely right. It is 10-2 for the SaberCats.
Now we're back to the score we had where last time Arcadia and Saguaro faced off against each other. Ball bats up, heading towards out, and it drops foul. But yeah, if you want some bit of nostalgia, last time Arcadia and Saguaro faced, it was a 10-2 victory for Saguaro. And now it looks like it's going to be that same score for Saguaro again, almost leaving this game 10-2 and potentially still scoring more runs with having a runner on first and 2 outs.
And Saguaro is just wasting no time. They're picking the pitch that they want to hit early in counts. Even with the new hitter, or rather new pitcher, and Isle in the game, they check on the runner at first. Gets away from Lambert at first, but staying there is Potter.
If you think right now, Saguaro, you're up this big lead. You can't let Arcadia come back this next inning and potentially do the same thing to you coming up in this next inning. But we've seen how defensive the Saguaro team is, and holding it to such a close lead in this first 2 innings, holding them out, shut out 0-0 going into this 3rd inning. And, Arcadia's done a good job up until this 4th inning where they've just fallen apart, in words to be said, and giving up 9 runs more specifically in this inning.
Hernandez puts that in the air, trying to make the basket catch with his back face towards home plate. Was Lambert unable to. Try to make a catch identical to the famous one Willie Mays made with his back facing home plate, making the basket catch over his head, but to no avail for Lambert. This has been an onslaught of offense here for the SaberCats in the bottom of the fourth. Pitcher Mile upstairs and inside. Hernandez able to stay alive at the plate with 2 strikes, and it bumps the count to full. Back to the top of the order, and Xander Bratspis, who already has a hit. Saguaro themselves have already batted around.
Let's see if Arcadia can get a strikeout to end this inning as it bounced. Foul just a little past third base. But let's see if Arcadia can get themselves out of the inning with a strikeout or just a quick out in this last bottom of the fourth.
Ten to 2 Saguaro. 2 outs, full count in the bottom of the fourth. Run on first is Jackson Potter. The payoff sails high and inside. Heading for second with the green light on with the full count and 2 outs was Potter. He stands there. And on first, Hernandez after the walk. And as we've mentioned, it's unraveling here for Arcadia. This inning continues with the most lethal part of the lineup coming up in Bratspis, followed by Caminetti.
Yeah, and that's a very dangerous position you want to be in for if you're Arcadia, especially if you walk this batter, then you have to go up against Caminetti for a potential grand slam like you did a couple weeks ago, like you were just saying.
So if there's a way for Arcadia to get an out, obviously at first base, that's all the time. Force opportunity at third base where Brock Segui is playing if the ball's hit on the ground towards the left side of the infield. That ball's up in the air, first baseline. Lambert a much easier catch, and he makes it.
And that will end the inning for Arcadia.
9 runs in the bottom of the fourth for Saguaro, who was previously down 2-1. Cade Schumard with his head held high and all the confidence in the world will start in the top of the fifth with an 8-run lead.
Hello, my name is Nash Dara. I am from Madison, Wisconsin, and I am studying sports journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University. I am very excited to announce that for this upcoming semester for the spring of 2024, I will be interning at the Varsity Sports Show. I am very excited for the new outlook to come and excited to make some new friends.
What's inside you? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center uses the latest technologies to train the athlete in all of us. Unlock the greatness inside of you.
Exciting news, sports fans. Get ready to welcome a fresh face to Varsity Sports Show. That's right. I'm Sam Dayton, and I'm thrilled to announce I'll be joining the Varsity Sports Show team as an intern this spring. Get used to this voice and get used to this face, because I am here to stay.
Right fielder,
well, this is a much different game than an inning ago. It was 2-1 to start the top of the fourth, and it is now 10-2 for the Saguaro SaberCats. 13-1 in their last 14 games, and they've all but put that streak at 14-1 now, with probably what seems to be 3 to 6 more outs before a game that could end in a mercy roll.
Yeah, especially after the inning that we just had, you gotta think, zoom in a little bit. He's just feeling great, having an 8-run lead like you had just mentioned. And after the words that we heard at the middle of the fourth, like we heard from Coach Mickey, that he's probably back on his game as he gets a strike to start the inning. And he's back on his game, and he's just feeling all the confidence and all the motivation and all the what's the word? I can't think of it, but all the motivation and just everything behind him ending out this game.
0-2 quickly, foul ball. It's not going to end this at bat. Goes into the softball stadium again. That ups your count, Tyler, to what?
10.
10.
So we're officially in the double digits.
0-2 from Schumard on the ground toward shortstop. Ratspiss gets the out at first.
Yeah, you know, Saguaro, like you just mentioned, being down 2-1 at the top of the fourth. Now everything is up on their game to potentially close out the game with, like you said, with the mercy rule.
Number 9, Grant Erickson.
I think another thing to mention as well is normally for pitchers is that ball's hit in the air towards left field. And the catch is made by Margarella. 2 quick outs here in the top of the fifth. Going back to what I was saying is normally for a pitcher, especially in the MLB, other than Shohei Ohtani, they're a one-sided player. And an inning like that lasted probably about 20 minutes, you're sitting for a long time. But Schumard came up to the plate once, was almost going to come up to the plate a second time. So he was definitely fresh, and it's not like the wheels were turning inside his head and he's sitting down for a while in the dugout. He was able to get involved offensively as well in that onslaught. As he gets ahead in the count 0-2 again.
Going to the softball field for the 11th time this game.
Got to be one of the most important stats of the game that doesn't involve the game itself. Nasty breaking ball, and Cadino Gomez thought it was going to be strike 3, but they're going to need one more to close out the inning. And also, Schumard started out the game with 5 strikeouts. He has 6 on the afternoon. It's been a while since he's got another. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer with the count now even at 2-2.
Let's see if we can end out the inning with the strikeout here. And he doesn't
Just
call it.
missing outside
Wow.
again, and that's
got
the
a
second
full
time
count here.
Cadino Gomez was heading towards the dugout. So it goes 0-2 to 3-2 real quick. Schumar wasting no time. The payoff. Strike 3, no doubt about it that time. 7 strikeouts for Cage Schumar, the New Mexico State Aggie commit. It is a 8-run lead for the home side SaberCats. We'll head to a break. Don't go anywhere with the SaberCats bats back up in the bottom of the 5th.
Hi, my name is Eric Perry, and I'm the proud owner of Eco Roofing Solutions. I've been in this industry for over 25 years, and I'm the current president of the Arizona Roofing Contractors Association. Our mission is to provide the absolute best customer experience, and we operate all over the entire state of Arizona. We will come out and provide a courtesy, no-obligation roof inspection to you, as well as an estimate within 24 hours. Our team is dedicated to providing the best quality product and workmanship, and we're here to serve you. You can call us at 480-695-7736 or check us out online at ecoroofaz.com. To learn more about us, you can find me on Instagram at YourBeardedRoofer or at EcoRoofingSolutionsAZ. We are proud supporters of our community's youth and the next generation, and we would love for you to come and join the hashtag EcoFamily today.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you.
Hey everyone, I'm Seth Quaritch, a senior studying journalism and media studies at the Hank Greenspun School of Journalism for the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I'm excited to be covering all sports in Las Vegas Valley for the Varsity Media Foundation.
Back here in the top, or rather the bottom of the 5th, a 10-2 lead for the Saguaro SaberCats.
Is number 21.
After a barrage of runs, sorry Tyler, in the bottom of the 4th that led to this point right now with a touchdown and extra point lead for Saguaro.
Yeah, and it was a quick inning for Saguaro just to go up and out, 1, 2, 3 for Saguaro to take them back to batting in this bottom of the 5th for potentially more of a mercy rule going into this game.
We got a pinch hitter in the game for Saguaro. It's Henry Jacoby replacing the designated hitter in Cam Caminetti, who finished the day 2 for 3, a single, or rather 2 singles actually, and 2 RBIs, all coming in a single in the bottom of the 4th. His average 529 before the game. Bump that up a little bit more.
And that's just such an impressive feat to go 500.
Jacoby over to shortstop. Brasky gets the out at first.
You know, like I was going back to saying, it's an impressive feat for any baseball player to go above 500. You know, just it's so hard to hit the ball, especially when you're getting more and more older. And, you know, high school, you're going to be going to college, potentially pro. You know, keeping that above 500 feet is just such an impressive thing to do.
And not to mention, he's being recruited not just at college, but the MLB as a pitcher. He's touched 98 miles per hour, and his fastball, according to multiple sources, sits around 94 or 95 for a 17-year-old.
Yeah, and you were saying before the game that he could be a potential first number 1 pick in the draft. And after what I've been hearing the last couple of minutes with you and seeing what I've been hearing with the games and all that, that we could potentially have a next Shohei Ohtani prospect with how he hits and how he throws the ball with pitching wise.
Here's Cade Schumar, the pitcher, again committed to New Mexico State. He has 7 strikeouts on the mound through 5 innings. In the last inning, his team coming up to the plate, down a run, and they're up 8. Able to completely flip the switch as he shakes his head after the swing and miss. Another pinch hitter on deck, Billy Gregory coming out of the game, and entering is Kason Williams, who awaits. 2-2, high and inside for ball 3.
We've got another full count that could potentially start another run streak for Saguaro here if he gets on base.
So it's Garrick Heil on the mound for Arcadia, taking over for Danny Harris. The payoff falls inside at the knees. Schumard takes the jog down to first for the second consecutive at-bat.
Kason Williams coming up.
And you know, one thing that stood out to me this game is just how good of a pitching team the Saguaro team is. I mean, we've seen it this game specifically where the first 3 innings we had, 6, 7 strikeouts? And those type of pitchers are pitchings that you need to take a long run to the playoff and potentially even championship games.
Just a couple of weeks away from the postseason, and Saguaro on a roll after starting the season 1-2. First 3 games playing against higher competition, including a close loss to Mountain View, who's in 6A, and this Saguaro team competing in 4A, and also ranked as the 4th best team in all of Arizona.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, the 4th best team is just, you want to have that recognition so that you hit more players, potentially build off stuff like that, and build a better program coming into later future years. And, you know, you've already established yourself as a good team baseball-wise with such a good record and stat recognition and even perhaps national recognition, like you were saying, with the pitcher getting national recognition for MLB scouts.
The count's at 2-1 to Kason Williams. Stepping into the box for the first time is the Saguaro Sabercat Jr. Heil checks on the runner at first. Another pinch hitter on deck in the form of Kyle Miller, the sophomore for the Sabercats. The pitch from Heil, downstairs and inside. They check down on Schumart again. They've done that quite a bit with Cruz Roberts behind the plate, and they've been able to not get an out each and every time.
Yeah, Saguaro loves to keep this pitcher and catcher on their toes, especially with having such big leadoffs like they have in this first base right now.
That ball sent out into right field, but it's caught by Obrasky. Good catch out there. Williams certainly gave that one a ride, and there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
And, you know, this is a great comeback for Arcadia after giving up 9 runs in the last inning to potentially hold Saguaro out, shut out in this inning after giving up 9 runs, and now hopefully making a comeback later on in this game.
Here's Miller, another pinch hitter, puts it on the ground over the pitcher, over to shortstop, second base, and Scoville able to get the 3rd out. So not exactly a 1-2-3 inning, but Arcadia has Saguaro put up a 0 in the bottom of the 5th, but nothing much you could do about an 8-run deficit as we head to the top of the 6th. Don't go anywhere as we head to a break on the Varsity Sports Show.
What's inside you? Is it strength? Is it speed? Is it knowledge of the game? Unlocking the greatness inside you means digging deeper, running faster, and going further than you can on your own. Banner Sports Medicine High Performance Center trains the athlete in all of us with technology, techniques, and hands-on experience customized to you. See what you're capable of by unlocking the greatness inside of you.
Hi everybody, my name is Alexandra Medina and I am a junior sports journalism student at Arizona State University. My passion for sports began when I started watching ESPN at just the age of 6 years old. I am so excited to be a part of the Varsity Sports Show and to work with you all during my spring semester.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
A pair of changes in the infield for Saguaro. Schmidt coming out of the game for Kyle Miller. Hasten Williams to replace Billy Gregory at third base. Still Cade Schumart on the mound, working with 7 strikeouts is the lefty Sabercat. And he's going to face a pinch hitter in Christian Baca.
Number 8, Christian.
Yeah, especially with this big of a lead in the game, you want to give your backups a chance to prove themselves for potential, future years to come, especially if they're young. You want to get them to develop at the varsity level and get them to understand just how fast-paced a game can be.
Schumart levels the count at 1-1. And we mentioned it already, Tyler, but these two teams played last Thursday, and it finished with the same result, 10-2. Not saying that this game's going to end 10-2, but who would have thought entering the top or bottom of the fourth?
Yeah, especially with what we saw at the end of the third inning where, it was a slow game with a 1-1 count and then Saguaro going up 2-1 at the top of the fourth. And now we're here where 2 innings later, we're at a 2-10 score.
It's a nasty breaking ball for strikeout number 8 for Cade Schumart. Baca down on strikes, and that brings up another pinch hitter in sophomore Henry Jensen.
Henry Jensen.
Yeah, I mean, look at Saguaro and just look at how composed they were going into the bottom of the fourth. And we heard from Coach Mickey with his speech to his pitcher going into the fourth where he gave up the 2 runs. And now with the motivation like that as a coach, you want to keep that motivation, especially as a coach. Like, it's such a good thing to have a coach that's always going to motivate their team no matter what the score looks like or what happened previous innings, and just have that motivation to keep the game going.
4-3 put out from Hernandez to the new first baseman in Miller for out number 2. And will it bring up? Yes, it will. Max Verstegen, back-to-back pinch hitters for the Titans as they're down by 8 runs here in the top of the 6th. And as you can see on your screen, 10-2 score. How did we get there? 10 hits for the Sabercats to just 3 for Arcadia. 3 errors for the visiting side Titans to none for Saguaro.
And a lot of those errors, gave Saguaro the chance to put up numbers in this game. We saw, the 2 pop flies go up into the first and third base that gave them the runs, and then we saw the missed catch at first base also give Saguaro the runs as well in the 4th inning.
Here's Schumart. That ball's driven high in the air into right field. Here's Neiman, who makes the catch for a very quick top of the 6th. 1-2-3 go the Arcadia Titans. We're going to head to a break with an 8-run lead for Saguaro. Don't go anywhere on the Varsity Sports Show.
When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Point, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Hi, I'm Melissa Firestone. I'm currently a junior studying journalism at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, and I'm super thrilled to be a part of the Varsity Sports Show this spring, helping to cover sports all around the Valley. See you this season.
Hey folks, J.R. Lambright here, special field correspondent for the Varsity Sports Show. Join me every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific for JR's Texas Tales, where I share stories of Texans who triumphed over adversity and gave back to their local communities. Tune in for a bit of gritty edification on KDUS AM 1060, Arizona.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. It is a 10-2 lead for the Saguaro SaberCats here in the bottom of the sixth. Kobe Bronstein and Tyler Hatella giving you the coverage all day here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Tyler, 9 runs on the board in the bottom of the fourth after Saguaro fell behind in the game 2-1. It was certainly a magnificent bottom of the fourth, and that's how he's got to the score.
Yeah, like we talked about previously with Coach Mickey's speech to his pitcher after giving the 2 runs, like you love to have that confidence as a pitcher and as a team, knowing that the coach is always going to have your back no matter what, and just rallying behind that and giving them the 9-run lead like we saw in the 4th inning.
Arcadia 9-6-1 coming into the day. Both teams in the 4A Desert Sky division. Arcadia in second place, and the team in first place, their opposition today in the Saguaro SaberCats at 3-0. And the SaberCats overall record 14-3. Started off 1-2, as I mentioned a couple times. 13-1 since then. As Gadino Gomez takes inside. New pitcher Joseph Campos for the Arcadia Titans in appearance number 6 on the season. 0-2 overall record and a 14.7 ERA from the lefty Titan.
Yeah, you're at the point of the game where maybe Arcadia just wants to throw in their backup just to give them a chance to show what could potentially happen as the batter gets hit. And we'll give them the first base.
Yeah, Gadino Gomez beamed. So he's going to head over to first. Going to stay in the game as well is the SaberCat catcher. And that's going to bring up Chris Margarella. But before that, a pinch runner in for Gadino Gomez in the form of Kanan Miller, senior utility player for the SaberCats.
And going back to what I was saying, you're Arcadia right now. You just want to give your backups a chance to potentially show themselves and later on in the season. Maybe give them a chance to start going to the end of this season, showing them what it's like with varsity, like I said, with Saguaro. Just give them the chance to understand what it's like being on this varsity level and getting them to the point to train so they can prepare for later on in their careers.
Miller stands on first after the hit by pitch to Gadino Gomez. And it's Campos for Arcadia, the pitcher now in the stretch, working on Margarella. Delivers a first pitch strike on the outside corner. Pinch hitter Brick Schultz, junior outfielder on deck, followed by Hernandez. Pitch bounce in the dirt. Good stop behind the plate by Cruz Gomez.
Looking at the scoreboard for where we are in the booth, really the only innings that we've had, big run score was the bottom of the 3rd and all of the 4th inning. And that just shows how well of a defensive teams both these teams have been, except for, that 4th inning where both teams gave up a couple runs here and there. But beside that, both teams have been having shutout innings for majority of the game so far. Sports is always the luck of the draw. Sometimes things go your way, things don't. And unfortunately for Arcadia, things haven't gone their way. But Saguaro's put up such big numbers and such big improvements in this game after being down 2-1, and now they're up 10-2 like they were previously last time they met.
Good eye from Margarella to move the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The runner on first is Miller. Campos will look down to the runner and the pitch. Bounce in the dirt, actually stopped by the umpire before it got to the backstop. Heading for second and in there with a stolen base is Miller.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, it was stopped by the umpire when at that bouncing ball. That ball bounces back to the back of that home base plate. It could potentially be a two steal bases and potentially putting Saguaro back on third base with no outs and having them giving them the run for this inning.
Full count from Campos to Margarella, and the pitch upstairs for ball 4. So a hit by pitch followed by a walk to open the bottom of the 6th here for Saguaro.
And it kind of looks like the start of the bottom of the 4th, where we had runners on first and second with no outs, and could we potentially see another huge run by Saguaro, potentially closing out the game on a mercy rule?
Here's Brick Schultz, the junior, batting 1,000 on the season, officially 1 for 1 in 2 plate appearances officially. The other one being a walk.
Let's see if he can keep that streak alive.
The ball spun and stopped in the left side of the batter's box for a foul ball, moving the count to 0-1. Campos taking his time. We saw Schumard wasting no time on the mound, even after 6 innings of pitching. Big swing and a miss from Schultz as he falls behind 0-2.
And you have to think, he hasn't really made many varsity appearances as a pitcher in his career. So maybe he's just taking time to collect himself, especially having 2 runners on bases with no outs in the 6th inning. So maybe he's just collecting himself, giving him a chance just to take it easy and then just pitch from whatever he's going for.
0-2 from Campos. Gets a swing from Schultz.
Oh, they called it a ball.
And they said he didn't go. They deferred down to the umpire in between second and third, who said he held up. Schultz battling with the count 1-2. Campos in the stretch and 2 runners on base. A little bit of an awkward step off and pick off attempt at second base to where Miller's able to retreat. Kanan Miller on second. On first, Margarella. Pitch from Campos. He's put on the ground towards third. Can't get it out of the glove, however, from
Oh, what a mistake by Arcadia.
Segui. So Segui able to gobble it up. Had some trouble getting it out of his glove, and both runners advance. Rather, all 3, actually, to juice the bases with no one out in another unfortunate situation for the Titans.
Yeah, and that's an easy double play right there if you're Arcadia, but unfortunately just got confused with what play he should make, and by the time he made the decision, it was already too late.
Campos throws one center cut over the plate for strike 1.
And now Arcadia is back in that scary situation that we saw at the bottom of the 4th, where we have full bases with no outs this time, rather than the 1 out we had in the bottom of the 4th.
Santiago Hernandez lays off that one for ball 1. Yeah, so the base paths are full here, and nobody out for the 2nd consecutive inning. Rather, the 2nd inning out of the last 3, we saw in the bottom of the 5th a 0, and a good job from Garrick Heil on the mound. And this is Campos in his first inning of work. The pitch to Hernandez outside for ball 2. Ty Ibino on deck. Saw him on the base pass as a pinch runner, but he'll step into the box for the first time as a hitter. Here's the 2-2.
That one will just
Fought off over the netting behind home plate.
that one won't go into the softball field, so the count will still stay at 11. But yeah, all these foul balls, we haven't seen one go to the parking lot, fortunately, because that could do some damage to some cars right behind us.
The ball's put on the ground past the third baseman, Segui. 1 run scores. That's Miller. All the base runners advance again. And this is an 11-2 game here in Scottsdale.
So now we're getting close to entering that mercy rule territory for Arcadia that could potentially end this game pretty early.
Bases loaded once again. Everybody advanced after Sagi wasn't able to corral the ground ball. Infield in. Bino takes inside. On deck is Henry Jacoby, the junior. Not able to get on base his first time. Swing and a miss from Bino. Campos able to level the count.
And it looks like right here, if Saguaro gets another run, we might see the game end just after this next run, as AIA has it as a 10-run differential for potentially Mercing ruling a team.
And we've seen Saguaro do that a couple times. They were not able to do it in their last game against this very Arcadia team where the score ended 10-2, now 11-2 in this one in the bottom of the 6th, with the count now at 3 balls and 1 strike to Ibino, and putting Arcadia in a position to where one more ball outside the strike zone ends the game. Here's the windup from Campos, the pitch. Swing and a miss from Ibino. Good job to fight back into the count to put it full. 11-2 SaberCats, 10 runs for Saguaro to 3 for the Titans, 5 errors for Arcadia to none for Saguaro. Ball's put on the ground. They get it towards home plate,
safe.
but he gets in there safely with Roberts off the bag. That's going to do it. Saguaro comes out of the dugout. It's officially a 10-run lead in the bottom of the 6th, which ends the game. Saguaro wins at 12-2 in a wacky middle of the game, especially in the 4th inning, to where this score was 1-0 SaberCats. It went to 2-1 Arcadia Titans, and then a 9-run onslaught of offense in the bottom of the 4th, moved the score to 9-2, and then eventually 12-2. Tyler, your final thoughts on this massive 12-2 victory from the home side SaberCats, moving their last 15-game stretch to a record of 14-1.
Yeah, you know, like we saw on the end of the top of the 4th, where we saw, you know, where we saw the pitcher give up 2 runs, giving them a 2-1 lead, and just the composure that the coach had for his team, saying, "Hey, we've got this, we've got your back. We'll come out here and we're gonna keep running the score like we usually do." And just hearing that as a player just gives you all the confidence in the world to want to come back and win this game for your pitcher, for your team, for your coach. And I just love hearing that about this Saguaro team and giving them the mercy rule 12-2 to end the game.
So Arcadia now 9-7-1 on the season, falling to 2-2 in the 4A Desert Sky Division. Joe Mickey Saguaro SaberCats, as I mentioned, 14-1 in their last 15 games. That one loss, 21-4, a lopsided loss to Castile on March 14th, but everything else, they've been perfect. They are now on a 6-game winning streak and 15-3 on the season. Your final score here in Scottsdale, Arizona, the Saguaro SaberCats 12 and the Arcadia Titans 2. For Tyler Hautella and all the hardworking men and women with the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Kobe Bronstein, signing off. Have a great night, everybody.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 education